All right, you guys, pretty much time to get going. Let's see, just want to make sure Zoom is looking good. Okay. All right, that is all looking good. Time to get started. Welcome, everybody. Coach Luis here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. It is time for Workout Wednesday. Nice fun workout right in the middle of the week. What we're going to get into today, two-part workout in which we're going to be doing three movements or three movement intervals each for 3 rounds. It's going to give us about 18 minutes of work. We're going to do those consecutively. So 3 rounds of part 1, right into 3 rounds of part 2, and they are going to be different. So let me get into it. Part 1, as far as the time intervals go, you guys, is going to be kind of EMOM style. However, we are going to work for pretty much the entire minute, no programmed rest. Now, it doesn't mean absolutely no rest. What I want you guys to get is that you can strategize and kind of leave a little bit of time at the end or the beginning of those kind of minute intervals to rest and transition. But we want to keep it minimal rest. So you guys, it's kind of like a pick your own adventure here in part 1. And as far as the movements go, we're going to start off with an alternating reverse lunge. So all you got to do is make sure you have some room behind you. If you would like to load it up, I have a small dumbbell here. You can just hang out in front with that, and that'll help us load up that front leg and that hip, which we are using to propel ourselves away from the ground, pushing the earth down and away. We're going to alternate as we go. Second thing, a Workout Wednesday classic. It's just your regular push-up. Absolutely nothing special or different about this one. This week can be done from the knees or all the way up on those toes. Squeezing through the armpits as we come down to keep those elbows close to the body, but not rubbing up against the body. Again, strategize, break that minute up into small sets. And then finally, we're going to be doing some hopping. Now, if you guys are in a place where hopping is probably not a good idea, go ahead and just give me a nice solid march, swinging those arms, knees up to hip level, etc. But if you're going to hop here today, pretend you got a nice line going front to back here, similar to the lines on my mat. And we're just going to hop kind of side to side, staying up on the toes, not letting the heels touch. It doesn't have to be exactly on the side of each line here. As you can see, every so often my feet are touching the line. It's okay if your feet touch the line. It's just a target. So we're going to be hopping back and forth. And so those are our 3 things for part 1. Again, we're going to be trying to work for the entire minute there, resting kind of as we go. Could be in the middle of the intervals, could be at the end or the beginning. Part 2, you guys, we're going to be working for 45 seconds and then resting and transitioning for 15. So first thing that we're going to do, we're going to be on the ground on our backs with some heel taps. So this is a great core exercise. Great at dissociating the trunk with the hips here. So we're starting knees bent up in the air. One hip is going to move at a time. We're going to let that heel just tap the ground. Knees are staying the same amount of bent. As you guys can see, I'm not bending my knee anymore to help my heel touch the ground. All that movement is coming from the hips, and we're using that core to glue our backs to the ground. So there should be no space as we move those hips one at a time. Next, we're going to flip on over into a static core exercise, and this is the primal press. So with the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips, we're going to push down through those toes, elevate the knees about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. This is just where we're going to hang out, trying to keep the back nice and flat. Staring contest to the ground. Don't let that head dip too much. Head is still kind of technically part of the spine. We want to keep that in line with the rest of our back as well. And then what we're going to end with is some squats in part 2. So with our air squats or your loaded squats here today, if you want to grab a dumbbell, we're going to be pausing every 3rd rep. So what it'll look like is 2 regular speed reps. And on that 3rd one, we'll pause, hang out, load up the quads and the glutes a little bit extra, bounce back up. And then it's the same thing. Every 3rd rep, we hang out for a second or 2, and that's how we're going to keep going. So again, 3 rounds for part 1, 3 rounds for part 2. Going to jump straight into part 2 right after part 1. All right, you guys. So next up on our list, we got to get into our warm-up. So let's start at the bottom of the space And again, as far as equipment goes today, you guys, if you want to load up the reverse lunge on the squat like I am, a small dumbbell will typically do the trick. If you don't have one of those, grabbing laundry detergent, maybe a couple books, something slightly heavy with a handle sometimes will help. All right, so dynamic runner stretch. Let's get some room in front of us. We're going to start by reaching down towards the ground, letting our body just hang out here for a second. Legs straight for now. Breathing, trying to lengthen out all those back muscles and hamstrings. Letting the head just hang dead weight. All right, let's bend those knees, get the hands on the ground. From here, we can start to walk those hands out until we're in a nice high plank position. Hands under the shoulders, we're nice and supported. That left foot is gonna do a big lunge. Big step, it's gonna land outside that left hand. So now we're gonna try and keep the back leg straight. Left hand is gonna leave the ground. We're gonna twist, reach up towards the ceiling or sky. And as we reach, we're trying to look past that left thumb. Breathe in this position. Good job, you guys. Appreciate this for a second. Then let's bring that left hand back to the ground. We're gonna do a couple small hip circles here, make some small circles on the ground. Once you've done a couple, we're going the other way. Loosening up those hip capsules a little bit more. We're gonna bring that left foot back to meet the right. Same thing on the right side now. So big lunge, right foot is gonna land outside that right hand. From here, we can let that right hand leave the ground. We're gonna twist, reach up towards the ceiling or sky, trying to keep that back leg straight. Look past the thumb, turn that head as much as you comfortably can. We're breathing. And now we can return that right hand back to the ground. Again, small circles with the hips on the ground here. And after a couple, we can take it in the other direction. Just exploring the end ranges of our hip capsules here. All right, let's bring that right foot back, push ourselves up into downward dog for a moment, locking out those shoulders and those elbows overhead. After a breath in that position, let's slowly begin to walk those hands back in towards the feet. Now it's okay to bend your knees to make it work. That's what we want. We'll then straighten out those legs and then slowly roll ourselves up one vertebra at a time. Head, neck, and shoulders, last thing to come up. All right, you guys, second part of our warm-up, we're gonna come now to the top of our space with some space behind us. We're gonna get those legs going with just a few reverse lunges. So alternating each side, just like how we are going to do it momentarily in part one. Loading up that front hip, making sure those knees track over those lateral toes. One's out to the side. We're keeping those arches up, one more each side. Good work, you guys, good work. All right, legs are feeling warm, upper body is feeling warm. Last thing I gotta do is set up the timer, we can get it going. Now, if any point you guys are looking for, hey, what are we doing next? How much time is this part going to take up, etc., go ahead and check the chat. Jazzy has put the workout in the chat. Shout out Jazzy. All right, guys, so typical 18 minutes of work I will be guiding you guys through. And as far as part one, I will be telling you when we are getting close to the end of each minute. All right, you guys, so full minutes here, starting with that reverse lunge. 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. So a little bit more than we're used to. However, this kind of gives us a cool opportunity to get myself in the middle here. Kind of choose our own adventure, strategize, do what works for us. Also gives us the opportunity to push it a little bit more. We're just, if you're feeling good, reverse lunges are feeling nice and light, or just they're just feeling straight up good today, we can really push it for that whole 60 seconds. But remember, after this, it is push-ups. We got about 20 seconds left in this minute. As we go, you guys, don't forget to keep that core tight here with the reverse lunge. Even though our upper body's not loaded up, still want to practice for when it is. All right, here we go. About to transition into those push-ups. All right, guys, push-up time. So whole minute here. I'm not expecting anyone to be doing push-ups for the entire minute. Break it up as you see fit. The priority is high quality reps. So if that just means 5 at a time, 2 at a time, that's okay with me. Great work, you guys, great work. Remember, we have 3 rounds of this, so don't go for broke on this first interval as well. That is part of the strategy. About 20 seconds left in this interval. Almost done here, you guys. All right, let's stand it up. We got side to side hops coming up next. And remember, if you're in a place where hopping probably isn't the best idea, go ahead and give me a nice strong march. Remember, heels are not touching the ground here. That line, whether it's on your mat or imaginary, it's just a target. Just slight hop side to side. Good job, guys. We're halfway through this minute. It's okay to take little breaks as needed. All right, 15 seconds left. We're right back to the top with the reverse lunge after this. All right, guys, 3, 2, 1. Time for that reverse lunge. Here we go. All right. The second round of part 1 here. Make sure, you guys, that whole foot is planted. Front foot. Those arches are up off the ground. We're using those toes. We're active with those toes. Good job, you guys. About 20 seconds left here until it's time for push-ups. Remember, we have that whole minute to work. I know we're pretty used to stopping around 15 or 20. All right, guys, 3, 2, 1. Time for push-ups. Remember, high quality over everything else. Good job, you guys, good job. You guys know I had to include those push-ups. So Workout Wednesday tradition, some type of upper body pushing against that earth, pushing it away from you. Got about 20-ish seconds left. Let's make it count. Whether that's with rest or with reps. Great job, everyone. Great job. Hops coming up next. We're going in 3, 2, 1. All right. We're back up onto our feet. Great job, you guys. Staying up on those toes and the balls of our feet. Giving those ankles some work here today. Good job, you guys. Good job. We're about halfway through this minute. Good work, you guys. Strategize here. 10 seconds left. All right, you guys. Last round, reverse lunges. Up next, let's get into it. Good. It's okay if our pace is not super fast, you guys. Or we'd always rather have quality. The more we repeat a quality movement, the easier it is going to be to call upon in the future, whether that's for workouts or just whatever life throws at you. You never know when you're gonna have to be in a position to lift something up or catch something with one leg. You never know. Good job, you guys. We're very close to being done with this interval. Keep working all the way through if you want. All right, guys, it is time for push-ups. Last time we're gonna do push-ups in this workout. Great work, you guys. Halfway through. Now might be a good time to rest, and we'll pump a few out towards the end. All right, we got 20 seconds left. All right, guys, right on time. Let's get up onto our feet. Side to side hops. Last time we're gonna do it. So guys, this is our last full minute interval. We're gonna jump right into part 2 when we're done with these hops and or marches. Good job, you guys. Good job. Man, my ankles are starting to burn. All right, about 20 seconds left. We're gonna be down on our backs after this. All right, you guys, 5 seconds left. Let's slow it down. Let's turn, get back onto our backs. We're starting with the heel taps. All right, here we go. So core is gluing our low back to the ground. No matter how we move these hips, that low back is staying there. I like to imagine someone is right there with a hand towel under my low back. They're trying to pull it out. Now, if my core releases any of that pressure, it's going to be real easy to pull that towel out. So don't let them get that towel. Even if it just means 3 reps and then we rest. Coming up on 5 seconds left here until we rest. And time. All right, you guys, regularly programmed rest. Up next, we're doing the primal press. So that means we're on our hands and knees to start. Hands are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're gonna get those toes under the feet and ankles. Push down through those toes. There we go, we're up in our primal press position. This one's a tough one, you guys. Try and keep that head up and nice and in line with the rest of the spine here. Real staring contest with the ground. Make sure those shoulders are also away from those ears. Great work, guys, great work. I know those quads are probably burning, calves are burning. We're almost done. And that is time. All right, guys, we got about 15 seconds to rest, but up next, we're gonna be on our feet squats. Now remember, every third rep, so rep 1, rep 2, rep 3, we're pausing. Here we go. Down, 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 and then we hold. There we go, you guys. After 2 or 3 seconds, push them back up. But every third rep, we're holding, we're hanging out. Good job, guys. Great work, everybody. We got 5 seconds left. It's time for probably one last set of 3 here, and time. All right, you guys, good job. 15 seconds of rest. We're on our backs with the heel taps up next. This is round 2 of part 2. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's get those legs up. Secure that back on the ground first, and then we're moving one hip at a time. Make sure that other leg does not start to move until we bring that first one all the way back into the starting position. Good job, you guys. This one's tough for sure over long periods of time. Really great as a warm-up, as a corrective, and also just an exercise. Great work. 5 seconds. And time. Oh, man. All right, primal press is up next. That means we're back into that hands and knees position on the ground. All right, 3, 2, 1. Push down through those toes. Knees are up about an inch. Core is really tight here, guys. Nice and straight with that back. Keep going, y'all. We got about 15 seconds left. Time for 1 or 2 more goes at this primal press. Don't give up. And that's time. Good job, you guys. Okay, standing up, squats once again. Every third rep, we pause. We're gonna get started here in 3, 2, 1. All right. Good, there we go, you guys. Remember, even if we're not loaded, i.e. we're not hanging on to a dumbbell or books or something like that, we still wanna keep that core really tight. It's gonna allow our spine to stay straight and or neutral. It's also gonna help our lower body a little bit. Good job, you guys. Way to pause every third rep. Good. Almost done. We got time for one more little set. And time. There we go. All right, you guys. Final round, part 2. Home stretch here. 3 minutes left. Heel taps coming up next. 3, 2, 1. All right, find your starting position first. Then we can move one hip at a time. Remember, we're kind of breathing heavy a little bit, so those strong exhales will help us retain that tension through the midsection. It's okay, even if we have to pause, if you feel yourself losing a lot of that tension, just take a moment, a couple breaths, and then we're right back into it. Even that momentary pause helps out our muscles, helps out the nervous system a little bit, gives us a little bit more oxygen to work with. And we are done with those heel taps. Rest those legs, you guys, good job. All right, primal press coming up next. Last time we got to do this one as well. Quads have been screaming at me during part 2. All right, here we go. So we got the hands under the shoulders. We're pushing down through those toes. Stay in contest with the ground. Good job, you guys. Go as far as you can until you feel that form breaking down. And then we're right back into it after a couple breaths. Come on now, stay with me. I know it's tough. I am not comfortable like you guys are, but we are done. Rest those knees. Whew. All right. Final thing that we got to do, we got to load up these quads, these glutes, this whole lower body with our squats. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're into it. Remember, nice long pause here, you guys. Just because it's the last round of part 2 doesn't mean we can skimp on that pause. Good job. Here we go. Keep those arches up. Be active with those toes. We got 15 seconds left. Good job, you guys. Good job. Last one here. And time. Good job, you guys. Oh boy. And my legs are feeling it more than they thought that they would. All right, everybody. Great job. Take a moment to stand up nice and straight. Walk around the room if you need to. Grab some water. Shake it out. Now my legs need a good little shake. Okay. Workout is not complete without the cool down. So let's go ahead and get into it. Find that space again. We're going to come down to one knee. Do a quick hip flexor stretch. My left knee is down. I'm going to start by squeezing my left glute super hard, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, and then just slightly pushing my hips forward here. Now, just because we worked on these tissues a lot, it might feel that they're a little bit shorter than usual, a little bit tighter than usual. Maybe it doesn't take as much of that pushing the hip forward to find that medium stretch, and that's okay. I don't want you guys to push any further than where that medium stretch is for you. Good opportunity to just breathe, lengthen the exhales a little bit. Let's do one more breath, quick one. Good, all right, coming out of that tension, we're gonna switch over to the other side. Right knee is down now, my right glute is gonna squeeze super hard. Belly button gets pulled in towards the spine. And then we're gonna find that medium intensity by pushing the hips forward a little bit, all the while keeping that glute squeezed. Longer exhales here. Keep that glute squeezed. Give it a little tap if you need to. One more breath. Here we go. All right, slowly we can come out of it now. You guys can stay in kneeling, or we can stand all the way up for this last one. We're gonna open up that chest, all those push-ups and that primal press. So interlacing the fingers behind the back, we're gonna pull the shoulder blades back and together. Let the hands get really, really heavy. We're opening up the chest. Big inhales into the torso. And letting the last of that breath really expand our chest. If it's comfortable, you guys, you can begin to tip that chin up towards the ceiling or sky. Really forcing a lot of that tissue to lengthen out on our chest and in the front of our shoulders. Big inhales. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And on that exhale, we can slowly release those hands. Good job, you guys. That is all the time I have left for this session here today. Thank you guys for coming. If you guys are looking for more live opportunities today, we have Vinyasa Yoga with Janet. That is starting right now at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Stretch break with Brittany, that's at 3 p.m. Zumba with Ardui, that is at 4:30 p.m. And finally, mat Pilates with Beth, that is at 5 p.m. All those times are in Pacific Standard. Thank you guys for coming. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next session. Good job.